Hello, and welcome to the My Gold Nest series, Thriving Past 50. My name is Faye Hinkson, and on this series, we'll be introducing you to people whose life exemplifies the concept of thriving at this stage in their lives. We hope to inspire you by their examples to seize the opportunities that this stage of your life offers you. So let's get started. Today, we're joined by Alex. Alex is has runs a very inspiring fashion channel for women over 50. And today we'll be speaking with her about her journey to this, how she got here, and what is some of the advice that she'd like to share with you to seize this kind of opportunity yourself. So, Alex, thank you for being here. How are you today?
Hi, Faye. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me and giving this opportunity to talk a little bit about my passion. I really appreciate it.
Super. Okay, so let's get started with a little bit of your background. So, where were you born?
I was born in Uzbekistan, city of Tashkent. That used to be a part of former USSR. When I grew up, it was a USSR, and I basically lived through collapse of Soviet Union, and basically we woken up one day and found out that everything we were told was not true. And now life drastically changed, and everyone had to find their own ways from now on.
Right. And how long have you lived here in Canada?
Um, this year will be 25 years how I'm here. I arrived here in 2000, and prior to that I was in the States for 5 years doing my master's degrees, my
Wonderful.
education.
Wonderful. And how did you decide to live here? How did you decide to move to
Well, I
Montreal,
knew
Greater
that I
Montreal?
want to move out of my home country because, Central Asia changed rapidly. It became harder and harder to find jobs and to find, you know, good environment being a single young woman. The environment gradually became much more oppressive, and there were no job opportunities because of the economic collapse. So I knew that I had to find a way out if I wanted to, live independently, live good life. So I ended up getting a scholarship to go to the States to do my master's degree. And after that, I met my husband. My husband, he's from Ukraine, from Kiev, but he's been living in the States since 90s. His whole family moved there. And we met at Oklahoma State. We fell in love. And then we started looking for opportunities to settle down. And at that point, I found an exciting job in telecom industry in Montreal. We came to Montreal for an interview, and we fell in love with the city, with this European lifestyle, and we decided we should go for it. And the rest is history.
Wonderful. Okay, so we've got some of the basics out of the way as well. You are married. Kids?
Yes, we have two sons.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were born here in Montreal. And you can call me, I'm definitely a late bloomer in this sense, because by the time we moved to Montreal, we've gotten our career on the go. On the go, we bought our first house in the suburb, and then we finally were ready to get kids. I was already 38 when I had my first child, and 42 when I had my second child. Nevertheless, they were the biggest joy of my life and the biggest fulfillment of my life, I guess.
Super, super. So for all those who think that, if the ship sailed at 35, no,
Definitely
not at
not.
all.
Not this year and age. No.
Exactly. Same here. So now we'll be talking about your thriving past 50 life. So if you could use one word to describe how you feel about this stage of your life and the kind of things you're working on, what would it be?
Well, I feel that I'm living my best life after 50. The best part of my life literally started after I turned 50. And I'm very happy that I got here. And I'm privileged, definitely privileged to grow old past 50 and feel so good about myself, about my life, and about being able to realize my passion.
Lovely. So tell us then about your passion. I'd love to hear more. So you have an Instagram channel. So tell us, what's it called and what is it focused on?
Yeah, my channel is called My Life After _50. It is for women over, well, I say in my description over 45, but I mean, you can just interpret it over 45, 50, 60, wherever you are past 45, I guess. And it is focused on easy and fun advice for women, how to tweak their appearance a little bit so they can look their best, basically. I call it looking younger. You can define it as just looking the way that gives you most confident and happy impression of yourself. And basically, I work on finding the tips and tricks that don't require a lot of effort in terms of the time or a lot of money. And most of my styling tweaks basically come from my own closet. So I think every woman can just do it. Having lived 50 years, at least you have plenty of things to work in your closet and in your arsenal. So that's what I've been focusing on, giving women relatable advice to how to improve your looks.
So, what motivated you to start this channel?
Well, I've always been interested in beauty and style since I was a little girl. But considering where I grew up, and I also come from a family with a single mom. My father passed away in an accident when I was 8. And my mother was able to basically manage our life by herself. Because my mother, she's a physicist by education, but she converted and became a first computer engineer when first computers came around.
Wow.
And she was always able to make a decent salary and basically support myself and her through my childhood. And she told me when I was like finishing the high school, I wasn't I was interested in fashion and beauty, and she told me, there are no jobs in this industry for you, so you should be able to earn your bread regardless of, if you're married or not married, if you have children, you should be able to support yourself and your goals. So why don't you go and pursue computer science degree? And that's how I ended up pursuing computer science degree at the local university. And I work in high-tech industry for many years. I still do. I work for a software company. I started out as a programmer, then as a software engineer, and then I basically gradually moved to marketing side and then to working with customers. So now, for the last 15 years or more, I support B2B customers using software as a service SaaS platforms in various industries. And that's my daytime job. Yes. And I never had an opportunity to pursue my passion. But after I turned 50, I decided to myself, you know what? If I don't start pursuing my hobbies or my passions now, then when? And I started taking a lot of classes. I've taken a lot of... I've listened to a lot of psychology book and podcasts because I believe in self-improvement and self-help. And basically all that what I've gained from it was that we brought up and we conditioned to put other people first, whether it is your husband, your family, your children, your relatives, your co-workers, and maybe society and your neighbors and stuff. You always told that you should put others first. Otherwise, you're a bad person, you're egoistic person, and, nobody's going to love you. But it is not true. You can't really love others until you start loving yourself. Because if you just, sacrificing your own goals, your own passions, your own comfort, all in the name of supporting your family, that you're bound to accumulate this resentment, and it is bound to show negative energy on your loved ones, on your children, on your parents, on relatives and coworkers. So what I've learned mainly from all these books is that if you love yourself and put yourself as a first priority, it's like on a plane, first you put the mask on yourself and then on your child. Because when you are taking care of yourself, you project positive energy. You feel happy, you feel comfortable, confident, you project positive energy. And believe it or not, it is actually most important for your kids to see these happy parents than, have a super healthy breakfast or, learn A to Z, like practice music or whatever, hockey every day for a couple hours. many parents put emphasis on this, thinking this is most important in upbringing children. I learned to believe that being happy is the first and foremost thing that I want to give my children.
Mm-hmm.
When they see me thriving, pursuing my interest and being happy, I hope they'll take it as a life lesson and they will do the same.
Yeah. You can't pour from an empty cup, they say. It's
Exactly.
very true. And you have been. I've known you for many years, and I've known and I've seen just how much energy and devotion that you put into raising your boys. So
Well, yeah, of course. And now I have to mention that like I found myself in my 40s with two children and trying to be ideal parents and doing
mm-hmm.
everything the books and the neighbors do and basically working full time. We work together at that time and
Yeah.
basically running myself into the ground, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I always felt guilty that I'm not the ideal parent because I'm not doing so and so, but somebody is doing better than me. I didn't dedicate any time to my own emotional or physical well-being. I basically neglected my health. You know, I've gained a lot of weight. I became very, very unhealthy. And all this led to like around when I was around 45 years old, I basically had the biggest health crisis of my life. And after that, I realized that I have to prioritize myself and my health.
Mm. Well, that's a very good message because we hear so much about the challenges of women in their 40s. There's talk of it everywhere. I lived it through too. There's menopause, there's burnout. There are illnesses and chronic illnesses that develop at this age. And in fact, what we seek to do here is actually to show that there is another way, and there is a point in fact where you have to start making these decisions, and you have to turn a lens on your life and say, well, how can I thrive, because I need to thrive. I have to put on my that oxygen mask to be able to help others, and to be able to pursue some of these passions that you had from such a young age as well. Oh wow, that's very inspiring. Like to see that this is something, in fact, that the seed of it was planted so young, in fact, and now you can share it, you can express it with others, you can, and as well, it brings you totally so much joy as well. You're expressing what's deep within you. So, and tell me that, in fact, what would you say is the biggest satisfaction that you get?
Well, as I said, I was always interested in those things, like beauty and fashion. But it wasn't until after COVID we came back to the office and my colleagues actually started asking me to go shopping with them and give them a shopping advice or style advice or like skincare advice because I look good being in my, late 50s. And I thought about that, and I always like to do my own personal Facebook and Instagram channel, take little videos for family and friends. And it got me thinking, why don't I do a channel on this type of advice for women over 50 because some of them don't care. They don't want, they think they're giving up after 50. But there are many of us who do care and who want to look our best and who don't want to become invisible or become old-fashioned and seen as a grandma. Like I work in IT, you work in a company. There is a lot of younger coworkers, so I really don't want them to think about me as a grandma. And and it's nothing wrong being grandma. It's a privilege being grandma. But when I'm out there at work, I feel and function my best if I fit into the environment. And believe it or not, like a lot of people comment on my channel saying that who cares what other people think. But we humans, we are social animals. We do not survive alone. So for us, group opinion, group mentality, being accepted by the group is very, very important. And it happens subconsciously. First 3 seconds we meet somebody, our brain already made judgments. So that's why I love the quote, your clothes do the talking first. Before you open your mouth, your mouth to say anything, your clothes already said everything. So it is important for me. It is important for many other women, and it gives me joy to see that my channel was so successful because a lot of women like my advice and hopefully apply it in their real lives.
So how many followers do you have now?
I have, I think last time I checked, it was 100,019 followers or something like that.
Wow. Well, it
Yeah,
just shows. I mean, there's obviously a market and there's obviously a need for this kind of advice. And it's true that going back to the office after COVID, we spent over a year in sweatpants, maybe
exactly.
just dressing at the top, dressing for a way that was, we had to think about the camera. But now we have to think again about being in person. And we've changed. All that time alone, all that time working from home, we have changed. So now, like adapting to those changes, it's good to have this kind of advice of like, how to reflect on how we want to look, how we want to feel, because it does have an important impact on how you feel, how you look.
Absolutely agree.
So, a question on so many people, including at this stage of our lives, they have these ideas. They know that their passions, their interests that they've wanted to pursue. Maybe they want to live in a foreign country and they've never tried it, or they'd like to start a new business, or invest in a way and maybe take more risky investments that they've never tried before. How did you take that leap to actually get started on what it is that you really wanted to do?
Well, as I told you, I'm a big believer in education. So I have taken tons of online courses in my life on different things, including psychology, including my hobbies like creating art decor pieces. So I first I tried my hand in like creating art, then I tried organizing closets, and I've just been enjoying learning new things and taking those classes. So if it would be me, and when I was thinking about starting
Mm-hmm.
my channel, the first thing I did is I took an online course. I
Mm-hmm.
invested. It was not a very inexpensive course. I mean, you can do it almost like free, watching tons of YouTube videos if you choose, or you can choose invest your time and pay for dedicated online course, and that's what I did. I took a course on how to create reels from A to Z, and then I'm still taking courses on
Mm-hmm.
how to film because I discovered that it is a creative outlet for me. I love filming. I love
Mm-hmm.
learning. I knew nothing about how to work camera, about light, about exposure. This word meant nothing for me when I started a year ago. But now I know so much, and I love creating those beautiful videos. I love filming. I love editing and posting them out. And I love when I see that people love them, people enjoy them. Most of the people, not everyone, of course. So yeah, my advice would be start small, start taking classes, whatever you're interested in. Visiting foreign countries, watch videos on expats. There's tons of resources out there. Watch
Mm-hmm.
videos, talk to people, ask ChatGPT what to start with. You know,
Mm-hmm.
these days the technology is so amazing. It literally gives you step-by-step plan to do anything you want. So take advantage of this amazing technology. Take advantage of all the courses available, information available for free on the internet, on YouTube, and paid if you have an opportunity to pay for this. And then you will be given instruments how to start. And then you just follow the plan.
Super. Well, thank you so much, Sasha, for sharing with us today your journey, how you got started, the inspiration for other people as well who might have this kind of grain of an idea that's sitting inside of them. Is there any last words you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think that everyone who lived at least 50 years on this planet accumulated a vast amount of knowledge that is bound to be useful for somebody out there. So if sharing your knowledge, your advice, building your community is something that you enjoy doing, I would encourage everybody go for it. There are so many different ways to do it, to share it. You can do faceless videos if social media is your forte and your passion. But yeah, don't sit on your knowledge. Share it. It will, bring you satisfaction and building your community of like-minded people and, surrounding yourself with like-minded people and realizing your potentials, your hobbies, your passions will go a long way in being happy after 50.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you
Thank
for
you,
that
Faye, for
advice.
having me. It's been absolute pleasure to speak with you today, and I admire what you're doing as well. This is
Thank you.
so needed, because so many people I know after 50, they're like, life's over. What's the point? And I absolutely don't feel like that. I think that's the best time of our lives when kids are pretty much grown,
Yeah,
we're almost done with our obligations in life, and we
it's true.
can actually focus on what brings us joy.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in today.